Now let's get to the film side of entertainment, and to be specific, we'll be talking about a play that is upcoming. I have with me in studio guys who are part of that play, and they do a lot in the play. I will just allow them to actually introduce themselves so that they can tell us the part they are playing in the play that is This Plot Is Not For Sale. Let's begin with you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
You're doing well this morning?
Yes. Not so much sleep, but should be enough for today.
We got you up quite early today. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
My name is Denijen, Pauljevic. I'm coming from Yugoslavia, in the meantime Serbia, but live since 34 years in Munich, Germany. I'm an author, in the meantime director for this show, especially a producer and actor.
All right. Yourself?
I am Gisemba Ursula. I play all hats similar to Denijen in this project because it's really a collaborative project between artists in Nairobi and Munich.
Yeah, so you do everything on the play?
Yeah, we do everything, which sounds a little bit weird, but this is really independent theater, and this tends to be the norm. It's just that when you split the titles, it sounds a little bit heavy.
Yeah. All right, let's begin with the title of the play. It's called This Plot Is Not For Sale. Why that title?
So Denijen and our counterpart Teresa came to Nairobi last year in the middle of the year. And then while we were walking around Nairobi, they passed around this thing written everywhere. This plot is not for sale. And for us, it's like, it's normal. You see it everywhere and it means nothing. But for them, they were just like, huh? What is this? Why does someone really need to tell me this plot is not for sale? And why is no one ever telling me when it is actually for sale? And then it was funny. And then in the construction of our story, it can dual meaning, because then there's plot, land, and then plot, story.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, when I saw, because I made a photo with my mobile phone, and my first thought was, I'm in a theater and I will not sell my ideas and my story. And then, okay, now it's something also else, it's also land and so.
Oh, now I get it. Like this plot, the story is not for sale. All right, tell me a bit about now the story that is This Plot Is Not For Sale. What is the story about? Give me a bit of a synopsis of it.
It's pretty simple. There are three characters in a photo studio. They meet and they talk, they open up and tell their personal stories, which also a lot has to do with the history of three different countries.
And they meet before the studio, and then you have Denijen, who plays Stefan, who is like the grounding character, because the position of Yugoslavia in opposition to these other countries is it's very different from other European countries. And then we have the Germany and Kenya relationship, which is the typical colonial, post-colonial countries. And then so when these characters come into the room, all of them come with their biases, their feelings, everything they want, and then with how they interact, it's about like them getting out of this, really seeing this and questioning the position that they choose to take.
So you're one of the cast members as well on the play. So tell me a bit about your role and how difficult or easy it was for you to get into the role.
So my role is called Pete, which is short for Petronilla. But in real sense, Petronilla Vochaveri. So there's all of this. I feel that being a writer of the character really helps us do the hard work of actors. Like they have to sit with a character and think about it, all the intentions and all of this. This one, it's already in you. Now the challenge is really like getting to the stage and making sure that your intention now sounds exactly what it was, which I would say was easier, especially because you write from a very personal perspective, my experiences, the things I see, and now this like you just go in through it.
So it was easier for you because you are the writer of this character.
So
you know exactly how this a character is supposed to behave, how they're supposed to be moving around. So that made it easier for you.
Even worse, we're all still the directors, so there's no one else to give you further direction. It's like, I know exactly where we're going. Yeah.
There's that about now what you people are doing, the fact that you're producing it, you're directing it, you're writing it, and you're playing it. You know, so I can imagine how that was, or how that is like for you. So no one is there to direct you.
Yes.
So you have to direct yourself.
But I think it's very complex thing.
Yeah.
And working artistically is really fun.
Yeah.
But organizing stuff, which I have the feeling is directing also a lot, that is very stressy sometimes. And writing a story and then playing it, and sometimes it's very personal things we are like playing, which had to do with our life and our background stories.
Yeah.
It's even harder to play it because I thought in the beginning, okay, I know the story, I know the connections, it will be easy, but then I'm standing on stage and then I also have to play in my first language, which is also not so easy. I thought it would be easy, but it's more difficult for me to like play in Serbian some parts of the story than like in English or German or so.
Yeah. Yeah. So what role are you playing?
I'm playing the Stevan, the photographer, who was like the witness of non-aligned movement. It was like Yugoslavia, the whole African continent, India, Indonesia, in the 50s. And like there is still that movement. It's like kind of third way between like East and West, between Soviet and NATO in the old times.
Yeah.
And I was also witness how my country, Yugoslavia, broke in the 90s during the war. It's also the reason why I came to Germany. So it was not easy for me, but at the same time it was like fun to live through that movement, which was a part of my childhood.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you're reliving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you call it an absurd story or an absurd play. Why the name absurd for it?
Okay, absurd plays. So this is popular in like when you think about a story, you have the typical arc, you have beginning, middle, and end. And what absurd tends to do is you have this, but you dip the characters in almost like a repetitive conundrum. So they're going through the same cycle until they break in an existential crisis. And this is really the thing that grounds it.
Yeah.
And this is really a consequence of the writing, not that we set out to do it. By the time we got to the end, it's just like, at each point in time, it raises the level, but then it's like the repetition of this act that they do, which is to present themselves. Yeah.
And it's also very unpredictable what is going on there on stage. And it also is a part of the developing process, like learning by doing, where we wrote the story, then we come on stage and suddenly everything is different and we are changing. I think today we will also change some details.
Or you keep changing things on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the show is not done until we just like, yes, it's right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Unique?
Let's talk about maybe music and the soundtrack that you use in the play or in the movies. What are the importance of those soundtracks and music that you use?
I think it should like be some kind of background atmosphere. It's like more of a sound, a music or more atmosphere. But it was also a hard process, I think, because a lot of things happened at the last moment. So sometimes I don't think we have enough time to play artistically while developing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now this is a play, right? So it's live. People get to go there and get to feel you guys one-on-one, compared to film that is on TV, you know, whereby it happened and then the post-production happened and now we get to see it on the screen. Probably I don't know if you've done outside, you know, doing plays, have you done the film side of it now? not on this particular play, just generally as a creative? Have you done that part?
Yeah, I have some small experiences.
Yeah. So how would you compare the two experiences of being, you know, on stage and on TV?
Both makes fun. Also, I also make music, so I know being on stage and singing, it's alive. It's totally different thing than like being in studio. It's the same like with movies and theater.
Yeah.
And I like this moment of being live and alive in a way in this moment, because it's unpredictable, and that's what I like.
Yeah, about it. Speaking, you know, still on the same question, but now looking at theatre, and specifically theatre in Kenya, how would you say, you know, what position are we in when it comes to theatre as Kenyans?
It feels like a landmine. I would say, how would I say it? It's difficult to really say this is the position where we are at, because I would say theatre in general globally and the arts and culture sector globally is like at a very peculiar place right now. It's either being underfunded or people are really struggling to get their feet upon anything. But what I would say that I like that I see about theatre now, especially post-COVID, it's like everyone went into a slump. We were all scattering to find something, and then everyone has really come back, and people are really excited and are really producing consistently, and this is very important. And everyone is trying to challenge, and you see even people trying to produce like the same concepts, new things, and for me this is very important, and people are buying tickets, and that is so important for us. So this is, at least you can see people are coming, and this there, so that's good.
Still on the same, maybe what would you say can be done in order to allow more people now to get back to the theatre?
Making interesting stories so that people are intrigued and would like to see that.
So it's all about you as the creators to ensure that you are giving us that, giving us the options. You know, we have more creators who are doing theatre. If we have more of that, then you feel like automatically then we'll get people back to the theatre.
I mean, that's one part of it, and then of course there's like the other structural things that you're always questioning. I feel like same with the whole entertainment structure, the same way filmmakers will say, what are the investments we put in this thing? It's the same way. It's like, how many theatres do we have in Kenya? Also, it's like, is it just about theatre in Nairobi? How do we spread theatre in like other places, like around the country? And it's happening. It's like, it could be more. We could perform in Nairobi, and like, why don't we go to Kisumu or somewhere else?
All right. Okay, for sure. If we get to add more theatres as well, it would encourage even the creators to get to work. Now, you know, getting back to this plot is not for sale. Maybe if you can just, without giving away too much, so that we have people who actually come to watch and not assume that they know everything that's going to happen in the play. What was the hardest bit, you know, being on that stage, maybe with something you were doing or something you were saying? What was the hardest to bring to life, if any?
I also think, I feel like the same way you said, like you speaking in your native language, like I also like have like English, German, and then Kisi, like in the character. And I think this was just like, wow, landmine after landmine. And then once you learn the languages, then your head is now mixing up the languages all over again. I think this was interesting, and you really have to settle in the language and still portray the same emotion. And this I'd be like, but we're there now.
But it's also, I think, how you work with your body, because you know, we're like writers, and we like write, and then we stick to the paper. Okay, now we have to live it on stage, and how we move on stage, what we're doing. So some small details were sometimes very hard to find out, but then when we know, okay, this is what I have to do on stage with my colleagues, then it's fun, and then it works.
Which was the easiest bit?
I think hanging out in the writer's room. Yeah, because it felt really good. And we really had to work for a long time on Zoom, talking, because the two of them live in Munich and I live in Nairobi, and it's just this consistent. And having this consistent collaboration and always knowing that you have each other, this was easy and this was really good. Yeah.
All right, as we almost come to an end, before you get to tell us when it's showing and where exactly, there's the use of different languages that you've both mentioned. You know, you are using multiple languages. I've had you also doing some kisi in there. Was that intentional, and why that specifically? Why did you opt to go for, we're going to use many languages, we're not just going to do this play in English and that's it?
I think it has to do something with our background stories and how we try also to connect the story with our characters and with our own personas, so to say. And then we found out, okay, we all speak more languages, and how we can connect it with our stories. So it was kind of organically how it came out.
Yeah, and when we started working together, we had a big question, and like, what is the language of theater? And we said it's kind of unfair that you always have to like default in like some language just to please people. And it's like, is there a midpoint where we can be like, okay, you guys speak German, and it's not easy for them to speak English, and we speak Swahili English, and it's not easy for us to like just be dipped into like the German culture and to be forced to learn German. So it's almost like, let's invite audiences to hear and experience everything, because this is part of it. It's collaboration. It will sound like this.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where the beauty is art. It is art in all of this, because there's that intermingling of these different cultures. So it's a lot of cultures being brought to life on one stage. That should definitely be beautiful. So where are we coming to watch the play? When is it showing? At what time? Go ahead, let us know. This is your camera for the lady.
Okay, so you can get your tickets at Synopsis for the 26th, this Friday, or the 27th, this Saturday, and it all starts at 7 p.m. and you should be at the Goethe Institute, Nairobi.
All right, Goethe Institute on Saturday and on Friday
and Saturday. Also, tickets are running out, which is good.
Hurry and be with us and drink with us and have fun with us.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure having you on set with us. And we cannot wait to come and get to witness it live and get to witness you guys live in your action, in your art, so that we can just get to indulge and get to experience you fully. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is where we end this particular conversation, and you've heard from them. The play, This Plot Is Not For Sale, will be showing on Friday and Saturday. That's tomorrow and the day after tomorrow at Goethe Institute from 7 p.m. And you've heard it from her that the tickets are quickly running out. So get yourself a ticket. Where are they getting the tickets?
Tickets at Synopsis.
Or Synopsis.
Or you can check us out on any social media. This Plot Is Not For Sale. We're the only ones. And you'll have a link to wherever you need to buy them from.
All right, there you have it. This is where we end this, but don't go too far. We are officially getting into our request hour. Roll call.